Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is my third time doing this video, because the first time I did, I don't think I said enough about this movie, and really it was just because this movie just, oh my god, this movie, there's really not a lot to say about because it's so amazing, and, well, the movie is, The Butterfly Effect. And this is quite possibly one of the best movies I think I've ever seen. I've never seen this movie. Again, all these classic movie reviews, you guys have to remember, I've never seen any of these. So don't tell me that I left out something, because I just had watched it. This was my first time watching it. You know, that's why these are fun to do, because it's not like I've watched it a million times. It's I'm watching it for the first time, and then I review it. But this one especially, out of all the ones I've seen, this was definitely in my top 5 of all the ones I've done for these classic movie reviews. This is in my top 5 because it's so good, and it just is an amazing movie. Also, when this is up, I don't know if this is gonna be up right away because I have no internet right now. Because my modem is basically destroyed. Not destroyed, it's just not working for some reason. We're getting the cable guy to come tomorrow, and he's gonna fix the modem or get us a new one, and we'll have to see if maybe the modem is fixed. Maybe this will be able to go up, but I don't really know. But yeah, so if this is late, that is why. If this is not late, then great. But it might be a little hard to do the thumbnails, so if you don't see any pictures of the movie, just wait till I get internet back. You know, it'll work. I'll get internet back and things will be better. But basically, the basic plot of this movie is that it centers on this kid, Evan, played by Ashton Kutcher. At first, he's played by Logan Lerman. Basically, Logan Lerman plays Evan, in the beginning he does at least, who's this 7-year-old kid. He keeps getting headaches, and he's not having a very good life. And, well, his love interest in the movie, Kaylee, who's played by Amy Smart for most of the movie, but when she's a little girl, she's not played by Amy Smart. But Kaylee, basically, her father is directing this movie, basically. And it's a pornographic child movie. He basically tells them to take their clothes off, basically. And her brother, Tommy, gets extremely jealous of Evan to the point where he basically wants to kill him. And from here, Tommy basically goes crazy. And he does all this crazy stuff, just crazy shit. He ends up getting himself kicked out of a movie theater. He ends up, setting a mailbox, you know, making a mailbox explode. He ends up, setting a dog on fire. All this crazy shit he does. But basically, he is taken to jail, and and then it's years later, and he is now in a dorm with his roommate, Ethan. Ethan is in a dorm room with his roommate, Lenny, played by, I think, Eldon Henson played him. And, he sees Kaylee, and, he's having this conversation with her. He thinks everything's going well. And to her, though, he's basically just lowering her confidence because she doesn't really want to talk to him. She has a very bad job as a waitress. And the next night, Tommy calls him, and basically Evan finds out she killed herself. So now what Evan tries to do is, he had seen before how when he reads the journal, he can go into a memory. So he decides that this time what he's going to do is he's going to read the journal to basically bring her back, get the two of them together, and fix everything, basically, so the two of them can be together, and they can be happy, and just everyone can be happy. That's what he wants. He wants everybody to be happy, because why can't we all just get along? That's the basic theme of this. No, it's not, but, you know, why can't we all just get along? But basically, so yeah, that's basically the plot of the movie, and things just get crazier and crazier as it goes on. And it's just, this is such a crazy movie. This is not a movie that's very simple. It is very fast-paced. It can get kind of confusing if you're not paying attention. If you don't pay a lot of attention to movies, don't watch this. I paid very close attention to the entire movie because I was so focused in this. But if you're not a person who likes to be focused in movies, don't watch this because it's extremely confusing if you're not watching it. It's not confusing at all if you're focused, but if you're not focused, it's extremely confusing. But you kind of have to pay attention to the first, like, 20 minutes because a lot of stuff goes down, and basically he goes back into those memories a lot, especially the one with the child pornography. He goes into that a lot, but most times he goes into the scene where either the mailbox is blown up or the dog is set on fire. Those are the two scenes he most times goes into, and they're different each time. So let's just start off the performances, starting off with Ashton Kutcher, who was amazing in the movie. This is by far Ashton Kutcher's best performance. I mean, he's done a lot of stuff. That 70s Show, you know, all those romantic comedies he did, like What Happens in Vegas and Valentine's Day. He just has done a lot of different movies. But this is by far his best because he really showed that he had incredible range here. And a lot of critics basically tried to avoid it and said it was terrible just because Ashton Kutcher was the lead. But he was fantastic in the movie, no doubt about it. This was his best role. The different transformations he has to go through is amazing. I mean, he has to go through a lot of amazing transformations here, especially with quite a few things that happen to his character. Same with Amy Smart. She especially had a lot of changes, and I was very impressed with her. Kaylee is one of the most complicated characters in the movie. Kaylee and her brother are, because her character, when you first see her, she's beautiful, but she's smoking, and she's a waitress, and she kills herself. The next time you see her, she and Evan are married in a dorm room having sex, and they're on top of the world. The next time you see her, she's basically looks awful because she's as high as a kite and drunk and all this stuff, and is a drug addict. The last time you see her, she's like this, and it's so amazing. All the transformations she had to go through. Amy Smart was amazing in this movie. One of the best parts of the movie was definitely Amy Smart. I thought she was great. The other person we have to give a shout out to is William Lee Scott. This guy was incredible. I mean, he plays Tommy, the main antagonist of the movie, you could say. But mainly Evan is actually the main antagonist because he makes a lot of this crazy shit go down, you know? And you keep hearing me say the word crazy. That's because this movie's just crazy. And, but he was incredible because most of the movie he wants to kill Evan. But then there's, this one time when he's, like, so nice to Evan because Evan at one point ends up paralyzed. And in this scene, you basically see that, Tommy's fine. There's nothing wrong with him. He's a scholar. He's been so nice to Evan. But the only problem is in that universe, Kaylee and Evan are not together. Kaylee and Lenny are together. So that's the only problem there. But he was so great in all the scenes he was in. Very sadistic in all the violent scenes. And the little kid, who played him, was amazing. Yeah, so now I just want to give a shout out to the kids. All the kids in the movie, Kaylee, the one who played Kaylee, the little girl who played Kaylee, the older girl who played Kaylee, and, you know, the older girl who played Kaylee, the little boy who played Evan, you know, Logan Lerman, all of them were amazing. The kids in this were amazing. The first 20 minutes is mainly just the kids. And I thought that was really good how that's done. A lot of the movie is just the kids, and I love that. I thought the kids were great actors because there are scenes in this where they have to swear. There are scenes in here where they have to do violent acts. And I'm sure their parents were not extremely happy with that, but they did such a great job with that, and I really, really loved them in this movie. It was so, so great. So that was great. The other thing I have to point out are the effects. The effects in here are really, 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 really top-notch. Whenever Evan basically reads from the journal, the whole room starts to shake, and it's really amazing and awesome the way that happens. The cinematography is great because sometimes when he's in a new universe, you see all the different things that happen leading up to it, and that's really cool. It's very fast-paced, though, but when you see some of the stuff that's gone down, it's just crazy. there's this one incredible scene where he basically thinks everything's fine. He wakes up in his bed, and that's the scene where he finds out he's paralyzed, and that was amazingly done. The scene where he's basically about to get killed in a jail cell, that's amazing. And yeah, the ending of the movie. Now let's talk about the ending, because everybody loves to talk about the endings here. So there are two possible endings that you can get in this movie. If you watch the disc this way, you're going to get the theatrical cut, but if you turn it this way, you get the director's cut. Both versions are really, really good. First of all, the theatrical cut. The theatrical cut is basically Evan going back to the scene. With both versions, it has Evan making the ultimate sacrifice, basically. And we see Evan basically making Kaylee upset so she doesn't have to go, because earlier in the movie, she had said she had a choice to go with either her mother or her father. So he does it so she goes with her mother, and and Tommy does not go crazy. Because basically the reason he got crazy was when her father started doing all this crazy stuff. And, so yeah, that was the theatrical cut, and then basically they meet each other up and they have never met, and, yeah. And then the director's cut is him killing himself as a baby, and both versions are very effective. The one I think that's more effective, though, is the theatrical cut, actually. Because in the theatrical cut, they've never met. And you can see that he feels bad, that he's never going to get her. But he's happy that he's protected her, and I like the way it ends. The director's cut, it just ends with him killing himself. And then you see all the memories. And all the memories are the same. They're just different from the director's cut and the theatrical cut. And they're both very good endings, so I'd say both of them are very good endings. So yeah, that's basically it for my review of The Butterfly Effect. I really love it. It's a really incredible movie. I definitely though, if you don't like to think a lot of movies, don't watch it. If you don't like to pay attention, don't watch it. It's a very, very incredible movie, though. Okay, so that's it for my review of The Butterfly Effect. I hope you enjoy it. And the next movie I'll be watching is the movie High Fidelity with John Cusack and Jack Black. So stay tuned for that. Okay, bye.